Sangavarjitaha Nirvairaha sarvabhuteshu Yasamam eti pandavam Matkarma kridmatparamo Madbhakta sangavarjitaha Nirvairaha sarvabhuteshu Yasamameti pandava Matkarma kridmatparamo Madbhakta sangavarjita Nirvaira sarvabhuteshu Yasamam edi pandava
Matkarma kridmatparamo Madbhakta sangavarjita Nirvaira sarvabhuteshu Yasamam yeti pandava
Matkarma kridmatparamo Madbhakta sangavarjita Nirvaira sarvabhuteshu Yasamameti pandava Mataji's Matkarma kridmatparamo Madbhakta sangavarjita Nirvaira sarvabhuteshu Yasamameti pandava Anyone else? Matkarma kridmatparamo Madbhakta sangavarjita Nirvaira sarvabhuteshu Yasamameti pandava. So I'm going to skip the go straight to the translation. My dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Anyone who wants to approach the supreme of all the personalities of Godhead on the Krishnaloka planet in the spiritual sky and be intimately connected with the Supreme Personality Krishna must take this formula as stated by the Supreme Himself. Therefore, this verse is considered to be the essence of Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is a book directed to the conditioned souls who are engaged in the material world with the purpose of lording it over nature and who do not know of the real spiritual life. The Bhagavad Gita is meant to show how one can understand his spiritual existence and his eternal relationship with the Supreme Spiritual Personality, and to teach one how to go back home, back to Godhead. Now here is the verse which clearly explains the process by which one can attain success in his spiritual activity, devotional service. As far as work is concerned, one should transfer his energy entirely to Krishna conscious activities, as stated in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Anasaktasya vishayan yatharham upayujyadaha nirbandha Krishna sambandhe yukta vairagya muchyade. No work should be done by any man except in relationship to Krishna. This is called a Krishna karma. One may be engaged in various activities and one should not be attached to the result of his work. The result should be done only for him. For example, one may be engaged in business, but to transform that activity into Krishna consciousness, one has to do business for Krishna. If Krishna is the proprietor of the business, then Krishna should enjoy the profit of the business. If a businessman is in possession of thousands and thousands of dollars, and he has to offer all this to Krishna, he can do it. This is work for Krishna. Instead of constructing a big building for his sense gratification, he can construct a nice temple for Krishna. And he can install the deity of Krishna and arrange for the deity's service, as is outlined in the authorized books of devotional service. This is all Krishna karma. One should not be attached to the result of his work, but the result should be offered to Krishna, and one should accept as prasadam the remnants of offerings to Krishna. If one constructs a very big building for Krishna and installs the deity of Krishna, one is not prohibited from living there, but it is understood that the proprietor of the building is Krishna. That is called Krishna consciousness. If, however, one is not able to construct a temple for Krishna, one can engage himself in cleansing the temple of Krishna. This is also Krishna karma. One can cultivate a garden. Anyone who has land in India, at least, any poor man has a certain amount of land, can utilize that for Krishna by growing flowers to offer him. So I'm going to stop here. So Prabhu, do you know anyone who is planting flowers for Krishna?
Murli Prabhu.
Murli Prabhu? How about Benseleng Group? How many flower beds you have?
30. Overall we have 7.
How many?
3 plus 2 plus 5, 5 plus 2, 7, 7 plus 5, 12, 13.
30. So 13 flower beds. How many flower beds have you cultivated, Mataji?
We have 6 here.
6 here?
2 more will be useful because during Rath Yatra time flowers are not enough.
Okay.
So 2 more beds can be created.
So we have people who are showing us by example the purport of these words, right? And I know one, but somebody who was, his business, if a businessman is in possession of thousands and thousands of dollars, and if he has to offer all of this to Krishna, he can do it. Anyone know such a businessman? Anybody? So, one Dr. Desai, his name was Srinathji Prabhu in Mumbai. He just passed away a few months ago. He actually did this. He was the founder and chairman of Apar Industries. They made all the power transmission lines and transformers and everything for India, Africa, South America, etc. And he employed 36,000 employees, Apar Industries. And he used all of his share of the profits for building Krishna's temples, supporting Krishna's temples. Actually did that. I personally had the good fortune to know him. Such a humble gentleman. Of course, Babish is there, but I think he's another good example of a businessman who is directing his blood, sweat and tears, a good portion of it, for Krishna service. I can go into lots and lots of examples where how there are people, why it is so important to build temples for Krishna, because there are many examples one can cite. In fact, in the Veda base, which is all of Prabhu's ISKCON books online, if you search building Krishna's temple, You get dozens and dozens, hundreds of quotations. Prabhupada was emphatic. Anyone know how many temples he built during the 12 years? Huh?
108.
108 temples around the world. And of course, he did that required lot of energy, lot of Lakshmi, lot of determination, and to make that happen. But in that short span, he was able to do that. And he was so pure. There are people willing to surrender their entire life, including their life savings, everything at his feet, and say, do whatever you wish to do. So he had that potency from a lifetime of tapasya and devotional service to Krishna. We have what we have inherited here, right? 40 years of not much maintenance. Right, Mataji? We didn't do much maintenance to these buildings. And we have inherited these dilapidated looking buildings. But our congregation came through 2 years ago in order to fund a new temple. Like you can see, it is becoming reality and closer and closer. And all the people, so we have put the names of all the people who have contributed the results of their work. That is in thousands of dollars, and the people who have contributed. We have the list outside. So let's give a round of applause to the donors. So please check for thank you from the bottom of our hearts if you are a donor. And if you are not a donor, now is the time to get on the bandwagon. Even if it is $1 or $100,000 or $1,000, doesn't matter. We can use any penny at this time. So just to give you some background, 2 years ago when we did the fundraising, how many of you were there in the fundraising? So we had X amount of pledge, and what we collected is Y, little bit shorter than what was pledged, by $200,000. So that $200,000 is a gap we have to make up. We have inflation, and as I said before, when we started out, construction was almost a standstill, nothing was happening. Now, as you can see, how many new skyscrapers are coming up in Philadelphia? Several, right? So a lot of action. So that there is demand for work. So there is about 10% inflation. That's why the 100,000. So about 200 plus 100, about $300,000 we need to raise from what we have collected so far. That's where we are. In order to have our inauguration and put the deities in, to make the offering to the deities. So I will stop here and answer any questions. So because at 5 o'clock, in about 10 minutes, I want to take all of you to see the new construction, what we have achieved with the tireless work of people like Babish, Vishnugada Prabhu, Kaivalya Prabhu, Murali, and so many others. If I start naming names, I will definitely make some people angry because I will not remember. But the construction team has worked very, very hard, and we have achieved almost there. We are almost 85% there. So the last push is where some of the expensive things are, like flooring, like chandeliers, things like that. So that's where we need all of your help. If I can show you some examples of, I want to show you one specific video. Babish thinks this is no big what I have not seen this before. So if I can get it up. Okay. How many of you have seen stilt walking? Stilt walking. People walking on poles. You have seen that?
I used to do it.
You used to do it?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
We had stilts at my house.
Really? How high?
Very high. It was a lot of fun.
I have seen it in circus. I have seen it as amusement. I've never seen people actually, doing this. But why can't I get this? So the guys here in our construction, they were using stilts in order to do the spackling. And when I told Babish that, he said, that is no big deal, that's how they always do it. I somehow, for some reason, I can't get that video. But anyway, so what we will do is, this is Sadhu Sangha, where we were last weekend. Highly recommend, if any of you haven't seen this, this is a Kirtan Mela in the North Carolina, Boone. And if you haven't gone there, it's a great experience to go and to see a facility which can accommodate 2,000 people. And but their kitchen is the size of our entire complex. They can serve 2,000 people, no problem. And so the 3 days of just kirtan, that's quite an experience, and wonderful prasadam and wonderful association, non-stop. So the kids, everybody is ecstatic in that arena. But from a construction perspective, they have the best arrangements to, if we ever had $65 million, that's what we want to do. So there are some questions that came up. People have been to Baltimore temple, people have been to other temples, and they said, oh, they started before us, why did we take this long? So that question has come up. I just want to answer that question. That is not in Baltimore town. It is far outside. It's a small town. Getting permits, that is like getting permits in my Mallika Hill. It's very whole different ball game than inside the city of Philadelphia. If we were half a mile away from here, we will be outside the city of Philadelphia, and we would have a whole different ball game. So that's the answer to that. So it took us almost a year to get our plans finalized. I'm so glad we did that. And here is the reason why. Some new temples, $4 million, you walk in there, what do you see in the front? Men's room, ladies' room. Smack in front, before you see the deities, you have the toilets. That was the original design here also in our box. As soon as you enter, we had that thing. And we vehemently were against it. First of all, it ate away the temple room. Then you walk into the actual action where the congregation is, say, congested temple room. Everything else is very nice. We didn't want to make that happen. And we had to redo the architecture in order to make sure the bathrooms were separate. And as you know, we looked at this building, we looked at the other old building, on the other side. And we ended up being there. And long story short, I think we gained another 1,000 square feet. And we have the 5,000 square feet intact for the actual congregation. Because this is not something, folks, we do every year or every 5 years. This is once a lifetime, right? How many of us will be participants in building a temple in our lifetime? Would that happen? It's very, very rare. So this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And the names you see, the people in this room, trust me, that's it. These are the pillars of this congregation. These are the pillars of this new temple. There is no magic guy coming from somewhere and saying, I'm going to fill whatever gap you need. That's not going to happen. We have seen it the hard way. So it's us, with our hard-earned money, that we need to we are there. It's so close. I can see the DT sitting in the DS, in the altar there. But here is the gap we need to fill. And right now, if we have the money, we can go finish very fast. Actually, Babish can't wait to finish it. If he could, he would do it next week. So we really, so if you have contributed, so two things. Those who have not contributed, now is the time. And as the Shastras say, when we talk about Krishna's temple, if it doesn't hurt, oh Krishna, I make $100,000 a year. But you know, I read in the Bhagavatam, Prabhu's purport, if I make a flower bed, I'm doing service. So therefore, let me keep doing flower beds. When it comes to money, let's talk later. That doesn't work. And if somebody makes $50,000 and they give $50 and say, that's not really charity, right? So in the Shastras, Prabhu says, it has to be something that hurts a little. So we have to give according to our means. After all, where is the money coming from? Where is the money coming from? What is money? Lakshmi. Where does she want to be with? Why? Krishna is Lakshmi Pati, right? How many chaste wives would be happy separated from their husband? Right? So, if we are the kind of person who does separate Lakshmi Devi from her husband, we don't want to be that kind of a person, right? Think about it. Any chaste wife would be very happy when she reunites with her husband. Right? Isn't that true? So anyone who makes that happen, that they will be especially favored. So let's be servants of Lakshmi and Lord Krishna, and let's unite them as much as we can, so that we can. The Catholics have no problem without all this high funda philosophy. One book, Bible, 10% of their income automatically every year they give. As we have spoken before, if we can give 10% of our yearly income once, just once, we can make this temple come true. So those of you who can double your contribution, please do so. Those of you can give another 10,000 or 5,000, please do so. Trust me, I can go through, we don't have the time, but I can go through the things here where Prabhu says, it has to scrape a little bit. the donations. We don't have to cut off our limbs, but it has to hurt a little bit. You know, that is true service. If I make $100,000 and I give $250 for construction, who are we cheating? So, we, at your lotus feet, we humbly beg, please make this come true. And nothing stopping us now. You know, we can do this in months. So, if we can make this happen. So, any questions before we disperse?
How much we have collected so far?
Um,
How much is it due?
From the last fundraising, about, I don't know the exact number, 600 something. From the very beginning, we have collected, but we have to take it from the last fundraising. So don't include the monies we collected before the last fundraising, because we estimated from that point onwards. I can give you the exact numbers, Madaji, but it is in the range of 600 something, high 600. What other question we have?
So when are you planning to finish? End of September?
I would like to do this by Janmashtami if I had $300,000 today.
When you start paying?
I'm sorry?
Start paying?
Please do.
Is there a chest?
Exactly. But someone has to write the check. He can't write the check. He needs his devotees like yourself to write the check. Babish, you want to add anything?
I would like to add the question you asked, how much we collected. And when we had a fundraising, our target was 850.
You want to come in?
I think I'm fine. My target was 850, and I think we did pretty good. What we have right now, we have a deficit of 250. It's not like we spend more or something. We're still under our budget. We had a deficit because we have few donors who pledge, and for some reason they were not able to give because of some issues and all that. And someone who pledged, they gave like 20% of it. So what we are trying to do is collect the deficit, and that's about 200, 250. When can we finish? We can finish probably in the next 6 weeks if we have the money. Painting is almost done, the flooring is left, and the rain garden water, and probably some toilet fixtures and all that.
So just want to give you some heads up. The rain garden water is going to cost us $50,000 more because they want metal pipes from around here, from all the spouts, downspouts. We have to collect the metal pipes all around the building. Then we have to put it under the front, cut the main road, Allen's line, because the storm drain is on the other side. So that's going to cost us quite a lot of, because we need police, we have to pay for the police to stop the traffic, one lane, so that's the kind of thing. So when we go into the new building, and I want to emphasize, I had somebody clean it today, so there are no nails and stuff, but we need your shoes. Sundari Mataji? So I want to make sure people hear this. Please put your shoes, and we will go through the old building into the new building, not through the front. Don't open the gates here. We are going to go into, what's that? Yeah, and less than 15-year-old kids, we cannot take them inside because it's not child-proof yet. But please make sure you don't open the doors, etc. And just when we go there, please go in a single lane so we can go in an orderly fashion. And the paint you see is primer, so don't think that's the color. That's a prima. What else? Can we go? Oh, and we will have Murali and Nikhil there. Hare Krishna.